Give me one moment.
No, it's all good. I'm trying to change my name. I have my org name on there, so I'm trying to oh, right here, I got it. Okay. All right. I do know how to use this.
All right, welcome everybody. This is Miss Mo, your host of Real Talk Recovery podcast, right here on Podbean Live. We're also live on Facebook as well as Zoom. This Zoom video will be posted on TikTok and YouTube. Okay, so of course you would see this first on YouTube, y'all. All right. Thank you so much. I want to go ahead and talk about this episode. This episode is very dear to me. We have a special guest here that I can't wait to introduce y'all to. First things first, this episode is called Peer of the Year: What It Really Takes to Serve the People. All right. I'm going to give y'all a quick introduction of who we have here today. I'm very proud to welcome Glenn Brinson, recently honored as Peer of the Year at Peer Apocalypse 2025. And if you know anything about the peer world, you know that recognition doesn't come with titles. It comes from trust, consistency, and showing up for people when it really matters the most. Glenn is deeply committed to making Oregon a better place through peer support, community engagement, and recovery centered leadership. This conversation isn't just about an award, y'all. This is about what it actually takes to be a peer, the realities of the world, and the responsibility that comes with walking alongside of others in recovery. We'll be talking about peership, services, impact, and what it means to lead without losing your connection with people. So take a breath, get comfortable, and tap in. This is Real Talk Recovery. Let's introduce Glenn Brinson.
What's
Yay!
up? What's up? What's up? Thank you. Appreciate you, Miss Mo. So yeah, my name is Glenn Brinson. I go by Bo. Most people know me as Bo, but Glenn's my name, so I go by it. But yeah, I am I've experienced a lot of things in my life, put myself through a lot of things. But the thing that I want to put out first that I'm most proud of is being a good husband and father. And that's because of recovery. You know what I mean? Because a peer supported me in the beginning, and that was why I got into the field. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm a certified recovery mentor too, and a forensic peer. I'm also a CRM trainer and a forensic peer trainer.
So, yes, thank you so much for clearing that up. That's actually the first day I met you was the day you took your honorship and took the reward out there in the Peer Apocalypse 2025. And I've seen how loving you were to your wife, your children, and I love the connection. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
that's
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 what's up.
that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I felt like this is well overdue, and I believe seeing you take that award and that honor up there on
Yeah.
stage in front of all
Yeah.
of us peers, okay?
It was a lot of
Number one,
people.
uno, and demonstrating that family love and connection with others, and just all as a husband, as a leader, as a person, as a black male,
Yep.
okay? Let's just
Yep.
add that in there too.
Yep.
It inspired me to continue this podcast and take it off the street and put it on a more virtual platform where everybody can appreciate it.
More
So thank you
accessible.
so much for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a lot of people. And it was cool because my wife got to introduce me with our son and the executive director. So that was really cool being able to, it was really meaningful because my wife and I met in the addiction.
Wow.
That was where we started. We started in the addiction together. And, I ended up going to prison and she did treatment on the street. So, it's actually a pretty impactful story because the probability of coming out of the addiction together as a couple
Yeah.
is the percentage is very small. So we made it through, and here we are, 8 years strong, and just really grateful that I decided to give myself a chance. You know, yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Y'all, let's go over this real quick. Before we dive really deep into this episode, we're going to go over the details, the topics, and the subjects, and all that good stuff. Y'all already know the name of this episode. The title is Peer of the Year at Peer Apocalypse 2025.
Hmm.
One of the topics we have here is the man behind the recognition. Okay. Another one is, what does Peer of the Year really mean?
Mm,
The reality of peership, building a better organ, and last but not least, wisdom of the next generation of peers.
mm,
And
love it.
each of these categories, I want to let y'all know, or each of these subjects or topics is given to my big steppers. We're about almost 10,000 strong.
Wow.
And I push these topics out and they give me the questions. So I don't have no idea, Bo, we're going to work this together.
Let's
Okay. And whatever
go.
is given to us, I'm going down the list. And here we have it, right?
All right.
Okay.
That's what's up.
All right. So the first topic, the man behind the recognition. Now, once
Hmm.
again, this podcast is all about lived experience, real
Yeah.
conversation. So we're going to be we're going to keep it real from 100%, right?
Yeah.
One of the big steppers asked us, for people who don't know you yet, Glenn,
Hmm.
outside of the title,
Yeah.
what is it that you want people to really know about you outside of the title of, because your name is attached to you, to your
Yeah.
work, to this is a whole lifestyle.
Right.
So what is it that people need to know about you that no one knows?
Yeah, that's a great question. I had this mindset of scarcity for my entire life, all the way up until about 8 years ago, really. Well, I mean, really like 6 years ago. I always thought that because my circumstance was, I grew up in LA, and my parents weren't married. My father was married to someone else and had, kids with my mom. And so I just used those as justifications to have a cap on how far I can make it, what I can do, what I'm capable of, and I can only do so much because of, my choices as being involved with gangs and prison and all those kinds of things. And so this scarcity mindset held me back for so long because I thought that because of this I could only do that, or because this was my circumstance I can only accomplish this much. Like that was really something that really held me back for so many years. And then, once I broke that, working at this culturally specific place for 3 years, I really got in touch with who I am, my roots and ancestors and all that kind of stuff. And I know that our people have are resilient, and we've made it through so much, and so I can't use these justifications or rationalizations on why I could only do this or why I could only do that. So now I've got a mindset of abundance, you know what I mean? And I feel like there really ain't no limit to what I can accomplish because if I could accomplish this, then I can accomplish that. If I could be a CRM, then I can be a CRM too. If I could, be a husband, then I can be a father. Like there's just so many different things that I'm my own worst enemy. You know what I mean? And so I held myself back for so long because I thought that I could only do so much because these were my cards that I was dealt. So now that I broke that, like I feel like it's just the most interesting thing because I remember in 2019 when I was released from prison, I never thought in a million years that I'd be standing on stage with 1,000 people, and them saying I'm the peer leader of the year for the state. You know what I mean? I never thought that that would be a part of my journey. I never thought that would be something that I would experience. But because of that abundance mindset that I have, like anything is possible. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. And I think that be having a mindset of scarcity and then being able to break that and have a mindset of abundance was a game changer for me. So that's something that I feel like that needs to be pointed out, and that's something that's dearly important to me as well.
That's amazing. Yeah, that is. That's huge. That's heavy. I hear that. I hear like there's no limit. It's a
Right.
mentality that
That's
you have
right.
to I talk about this. Deprogram to reprogram.
That's right. Yeah, we
'Cause
have to
my
unlearn.
first thought, oh, I'm this or that. I can't go that far. But wait, let's take that can out of there. I
Right.
can do this.
Say that.
Because
Yeah,
if
we
I went
we
through that, I could do it.
right,
Wow.
exactly.
Because that's the
Yeah.
proof itself. Woo!
We have to unlearn a lot of the things that we learned in our life. You know what I mean? And I think that that's something that is really important that, like, especially with like our parents or whatever, or my parents, like they may not have known that, they needed to teach me this specific thing or whatever. So I don't hold any of that stuff against them. But now that I know, I get to pass that down to the next generation of leaders because that's where my heart is being able to help give back so that way they could see that they have a really high potential and all they have to do is believe in themselves and do it. Do the next right thing. Don't pick up. You know what I mean? Don't pick up drugs or alcohol type situation.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break before we go to the next question, the next topic, guys. I
Yeah.
want to go ahead and recognize the company that made it possible for all of us to get certified. Okay. We're looking at MacBo. Shout out to MacBo,
Woo.
macbo.org. Okay. If you want
Yeah,
to
that's
learn
right.
more about getting certified, learning how to become a peer, getting certified to become a peer, they're located right here in Portland, Oregon, y'all, in the Lloyd Center Mall. Okay. This is a spot where you can go in their website, you can learn how to get registered, you can look for jobs as a peer once you become a certified peer support or recovery mentor. I myself is a CRM2. So I went to this website
Me
to
too.
get the information I needed. You did too, Bo?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. I mean, this is the go-to spot. So if you want to
Yep.
learn anything else, go to Macbo. That's MHACBO.org. Macbo actually stands for medical. I'm sorry,
Mental Health
mental
and
health
Addiction
and addiction
Certification Board of
certification
Oregon.
board of Oregon. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Thank
do
you
they
so
do
much.
great work and they're very communicative. So if you have a question about being a peer or any of those credentials, tap in with them. Like they're very communicative. They have a great team and a great staff that really care and they really want to help people. So yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you
MacBo.
so much. Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
All right. So another question our big steppers have is, was there a moment when you realized there is more, that this is more than just a job? This is more of a calling for you.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is that moment?
that's a great question. So I remember when I was released from prison July 8th of 2019, and a part of when I got out, I sought out a peer. You know what I mean? So there was something real powerful about taking a chance and doing something different, because like asking for help is so difficult. We don't want to ask for help because, we think that we're weak or lesser than or whatever, but once I took a suggestion from someone and reached out and got a peer, and then they supported me, I remember thinking like, what's your angle? What do you want from me? Because like I wasn't used to people just helping me for no, and didn't want anything in return. So when somebody supported me and I seen that they really just wanted my success, that was when I was like, I got it. I have to do this work because that's where my heart is. I love people. I care about people. I want to see people be successful. And so once I got into the field, I supported my first peer. And then we worked together for a few months. And then I got another peer and we were working together for about a month. And I know that they were like, right on the cusp of wanting to do something different. And then once they started to change and they changed their people, places, and things, they got a job, they, got back involved in their kids' life. And then we met that next time. This was about us meeting for about 6 months, and they came to me, and I seen that look in their eye. I seen that they seen that they have potential and they can do it. Like that was like it was like a overwhelming feeling of gratitude that I had because just a couple years before that I was in the hole. I never thought that I'd be working with somebody. So when I seen someone get it, that was when it really stuck for me, and I was like, I need to do this. This is where I belong. You know,
Yeah.
seeking outside validation and all those things throughout the years, and finally landing on something where I feel like this is my calling. I think that was where it happened for me.
Yeah, I agree. You know
Yeah,
what? It's funny. The transformations is what
yeah,
gets me every time, and it's quick. It's not as you would think. It's slow paced.
yeah.
90 days
Right,
of just having someone that to believe in you
right,
is amazing. I mean,
mm,
it's just that in 90 days, someone
right,
to go from this to that,
right,
from low self-esteem to high self-esteem
right.
to, and
Yeah,
it's just, and they moving through life, and that what really that inspires me to keep going as well.
yep.
Another thing that inspired me is when I went to the pure populace for the very first time,
Okay.
seeing all other people like myself
Yes.
who isn't haters,
Yes, that part.
who
That
isn't
part.
haters. We want to see people win.
Right.
All these
Yeah.
people that is on the same level, same mindset as me.
Right.
Wow, that
Right.
was right there. I knew it. I
It is.
belong right here. Yeah,
Yep. This is our place. And it is something powerful about that. And seeing all these people that have a similar journey, and our
yeah,
destination is recovery. But then there's all these different paths that are all valid, you know what I mean, to recovery. People have this lane, people have that lane. And that was
yeah,
something that was real powerful to me. I had got welcomed at this organization when I first got into peer work. And I had two leaders in the recovery community that I really looked up to. You know what I mean? And I remember they did that shindig or whatever to welcome me as a peer because we were transferring from two part-time peers to one full-time peer, and they just threw this party or whatever it was tight. But I remember telling like, man, I really want to be like y'all. I really want to be like y'all and do something. And they were like, don't be like us. Make your own lane, carve your own lane, take something from here, take something from there, you know what I mean? And make your own path. And there was something so profound to me when I heard that's exactly what I did. I made my own lane, and then here we are today getting to peer leader of the year, getting to work statewide, having dinner at the governor's mansion and going and talking to elect. I would have never thought that would be in my cards. It's crazy.
good. So we got the
Yeah.
next topic moving forward. What does peer of the year really mean? Okay,
Mm.
now let's break it down because they're like, what is the peer apocalypse and what's the big hype all about?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna break it down to you, and I think Bo can break it down much better than I can because I'm still a rookie, y'all, in the game. I'm just keeping it up, right? I'm not gonna even try
You're
to
doing
go
great.
that far, right? I'm just here to learn from the best. This is who I invite, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
tell us more.
appreciate
What
that.
is the peer apocalypse? What's the whole jig about? What's up?
Okay. Yeah, peer leader of the year. So yeah, Peer Apocalypse has been doing that particular event for the last 13 years. And what happens is they do a homegrown peer of the year, which is for the state of Oregon, and then they have another peer leader of the year, which is nationwide. And so the peer leader of the year, what happens is there's multiple people that see the work that's being done, like the selflessness, the going above and beyond, the supporting people, even when we're like, I obviously we there's a fine line when it comes to peer support, but sometimes we have to go above and beyond for our people that we're supporting. And so people recognize that. And we're not in this field to get recognition. That's not why we do it. You know what I mean? Like it is nice to get recognition for like the hard work we put into it, but that's not why we do it. And so the peer leader of the year, when it was awarded to me, it was because I supported people to get into treatment. I supported people to get into detox. I walked with people on their journey of recovery, whatever that may look like for them, and they're able to be back in their family's lives, back in their kids' life, getting off probation or parole, not going back to prison, really giving people that glimmer of hope.
Yes.
Will we do that in this field? So like when multiple people see this from all over the state, whether we're in Portland or Pendleton or Klamath Falls or Coos Bay, you know what I mean? Like these people put these votes in, and then, accumulatively, they're like, okay, well, this person is doing something. So let's tap in with them and let's do some research and see what they're doing. And then people just see what we're doing as peers. And then they're like, okay, so yeah, this person needs to get recognized as a peer. And so going above and beyond, even when we don't have to, like I think there's something real powerful about that when we get to support people on their journey, whatever that looks like. There's people I support that are abstinent. There's people that I support that are on mat. There's people, you know what I mean? So like it just kind of everybody's destination is recovery, you know what I mean? But the journeys are different, but they're all valid. So yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, peer apocalypse is actually known from, actually created by a company here, guys.
Yep,
I don't
that's
have
right.
permission to speak their name, but
Yeah.
the event itself, if you want to look up peer apocalypse,
Yep.
y'all, all that stuff going to be in the description box.
That's right.
And if you want to learn more, then boom, the research will be right there for you. Okay, do your
That's
own
it.
research. And you
Yep.
may be actually really convinced to maybe come down one of these
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Big steppers, come on down and see us.
Yeah.
We
It's gonna
love
be good.
visitors.
It's gonna be good. They got good panels and workshops. They're working on finding the peer leader of the year for 2026.
Yeah.
And they got a couple of panels that are workshops that are going to be solidified, and this year is going to be really good, just like they always are. But it gets stronger and more powerful and more connected every year that it happens. So it's a real powerful event, and the networking piece is, uncomparable. Getting to connect with people from all over the country and all over the state is just really powerful. Getting to do that with everybody.
Yes, I'm so proud. Speaking of
Yeah,
our and sponsors, MacBo,
yeah,
of course, we just spoke about MacBo, and Oregon Health Authority. Oregon Health Authority is one of the sponsors for Peer Apocalypse, and this is
hmm,
a space where we all believe in equality and inclusion
yeah,
in this division. Okay, you can pretty much go to Oregon.gov/OHA, Oregon Health Authority, and there you can actually also get information on how to get certified and
yeah,
licensed
yeah,
and all of that good stuff. Look for jobs as well. Oregon Health Authority believes in equality, equal health for everyone. And this is a space where you can really grow, okay? The healthy
hmm,
community and so forth. If you want to learn more about Oregon and how we operate, you want to go to Oregon.gov/OHA. If
please.
you are a person who's looking forward to moving to Oregon, it's a great safe space to live, and we truly believe in a recovery for
Yeah.
everyone.
Hmm.
This will be a good place. Go to Oregon.gov if you're interested and do your research. Thank you so much. Let's get back to it. All right. So we on the next question here. Let's see what we
Yeah.
have. This is spontaneous, y'all.
Okay, I love
Work
it.
with
I
us.
love it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, they want to know, in your opinion, Bo,
Hmm.
what separates a good peer from a from an exceptional peer? So, and
Mm.
you spoke about it.
Mm.
A good
Yeah.
peer is a good peer, but of course you are an exceptional peer
Oh, you're so sweet.
because you
Thank you.
got the honor, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep it a
Okay.
buck.
Yeah, I feel it.
So
I
what
feel
is
it.
it? Because I want to be an exceptional peer, and I'm
Yeah.
sure there's other big steppers that want to be. Can you give
Yeah.
us that description of the difference?
Yeah, thank you. That's a really great question because that wasn't what I was expecting when you said the question. I thought you were gonna say what's a good peer and a bad peer, but good peer and exceptional peer, like that is a really great question to ask because having integrity is really important, so doing the next right thing even when no one's looking. Your ethics, having good moral ethics, not only personally but also the code of ethics that we sign when we get our CRM through MacBo or OHA if you're going through the THW route as a PSS. But having really good ethics and showing up, giving it your 100% always all the time, like there's good peers that show up and they do their work, and I respect that, and that's great because there's people that operate differently. Something for me is I don't accept mediocrity. I'm not mediocre, and I think that's what sets it apart from being a good to an exceptional peer is I don't accept mediocrity, like something, oh, that's good enough, like that's not even in my vocabulary. So I think that going and supporting people the way that I need support, and I need like real close, you know what I mean? Like you gotta be like on me because it's really easy for me, especially having ADHD. And being impulsive, to kind of jump off and do something different or outside of the box or whatever, So being an exceptional peer, to me means giving it your all the time, even when you have that thought like you're supporting somebody and you can kind of do something else, but then, well, I got something that I need to do at 5:30 or whatever, but I'm off at 5. But that somebody needs that extra phone call or that extra support. They need to be taken to detox, or they need to be, they need to get that bridge gapped when it comes to you having this resource and them getting there or whatever. But just doing it, just being like, what, this person, we never know also when we're working with somebody, the last time that they had someone that didn't want anything from them, and us being consistent is really important to our peers because the last time they had consistency, we don't know even if maybe they never even had consistency in their life. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So if we're calling them, like if I say I'm going to call you at 10 a.m., like 15 minutes early, you know what I mean? Like I'm already planning for the call, or if I'm saying that I'm going to meet for coffee, like I show up a little bit early just in case, like maybe they get there or whatever. But it's just doing all those things all the time, even when I don't feel like it, because I remember being in prison and being in the hole or just being in there and being so lonely that like I dreamed of being out, and I dreamed of getting to help people, and I dreamed of having the life that I have now. So getting to support people or giving them that when they need it, and taking ourselves outside of it, and having like this zoomed out view of, okay, so if I'm able to do this for them and they get into treatment, maybe they make it, maybe they won't, but what if they do? And maybe they'll see that um, they were worth taking that extra time for.
Yeah.
There's something about that. So yeah, I think that would be the difference between a good and then an exceptional peer.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I heard you say something that really struck me. You never know if they ever had someone in their life that
Right.
came through for them and
Exactly.
gave them that consistency.
That's
And I
right.
can relate to that.
Yeah.
Being in recovery was the first time I was even associated with a group of people or environment of folks who
Right.
actually give consistency
Right.
or just wanted to actually help me
Right. Yeah.
genuinely. You
And
know what
didn't
I'm
want
saying?
anything in
They
return.
want nothing in return.
Right.
What? You say you're going to love me
Right.
until I learn to love myself? Wow. And I really love myself now.
That's
And
right.
I see that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this program works. The
Yeah.
recovery itself,
That's right.
recovery in all angles, all areas, using that method of just being consistent, coming through for others, it's
Yeah.
always going to work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because
That's a
then
great
right
way to
then
put
I
it.
said, oh, I'm worth it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
they came through. So I do have something valuable to offer
Yes.
the world.
Yes. Yes.
For them
That
to
part.
want it to care for me this much, maybe it's something that I don't see.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So
the power and that's the beauty, you
yeah,
know.
big steppers. That was a great question. Thank you so
Right.
much for
That
that.
was that
We
was
got
too, for
10 more
real.
minutes on the video, so
Yeah.
we're gonna keep going to this video continue.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got one more question, and then we're gonna go ahead and move forward on Podbean, y'all. If you want to
Yeah.
get the full conversation right here, go to Podbean. You'll see us Real Talk Recovery on Podbean. All right.
Yep.
Thank you so much. All right. So the next topic here is, or the next question, I apologize.
It's all good.
What do you think the peer community saw in your work?
That's a great question. What do I think the peer community saw in my work?
If you were to
Um,
step outside of yourself,
yeah, I think that
yeah,
the people in leadership seeing that when I went to meetings or how I conducted myself at the office, or say we know some of the same people and we're at a gathering together or whatever, the same person that they seen in the meeting was the same person they seen at the gathering. It was the same person they seen at work. It was the same, just like I am now, even when I'm at home. I'm the same I am at home than I am when I'm out in the community. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. You know, like there's no like I'm really nice and bubbly when I'm out in the community, and then when I get home I'm angry. You know, that's not the situation. You know what I mean? Like I don't have like I'm just consistent across the board, you know. And I think that consistency, when people see that and they see how genuine I am or someone is or whatever, like that stands out to people. And so the people that are in leadership that like had made those choices or whatever, like they seen the same person. Like when I'm at a meeting, or if I'm riding my Harley, or if I'm shooting basketball, or if I'm supporting a peer, or if I'm playing with my son at the playset, or taking my daughter to school, whatever, like it's flat across the board. It's always the same. And I pride myself in that, because I didn't always have that. I was not always that way. I had a really bad lying problem. I had a really bad stealing problem, and I had a really bad problem with accepting and loving myself. Like I couldn't. I got made fun of a lot when I was a kid. I got there were there's so many things, but I think that once I found that consistency and I liked how it felt, and I liked that I didn't have to put up this facade when I'm around this person or when I'm around that person. Like it just feels good that I could be my true authentic self day in, day out, all the time, no matter what. So yeah, I think that would be what it is. Yeah. For real.
that can bring me tears of joy right there.
Mm.
That right there. Oh, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get transfer over to the podcast, audio podcast itself. This video will go up on YouTube. Uh, Bo, is there anything you wanted to kind of push out? Is there any new projects that's coming along?
Yeah, yeah, no, great question. So, yeah, I would say that just stay tuned. You can find me on Facebook. You could find me on wherever, but just tap in, follow some of the stuff that we're doing. I just did a big event back on the 12th in Salem at the Capitol. We had over 500 people show up, and we connected them with their elected officials to go and have a 15-minute meeting about behavioral health and recovery services. But I mean, right now we got the Walk for Recovery is coming up in September. So yeah, just look that up, stay tapped in, and believe in yourself.
Yeah,
Believe in yourself because you're worth it. Yeah.
yeah. Thank y'all so much. Bo's Facebook information, my Facebook information, all of the information that you can tap in and get the research right here within Oregon will be in the description box, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I am your host, Miss Mo. And of course, this is Real Talk Recovery, where we have lived experience and real conversation. Okay.
Right. All
Thank you.
right, y'all.